Recording in progress.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 16, 2022 Town of Norfolk Zoning Board of Appeals. In accordance with the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 20, notice is hereby given that the ZBA Zoning Board of Appeals will meet on Wednesday tonight, November 16, 2022 at 7 p.m. in Meeting Room 124, Liberty Lane, Norfolk. Additional public access to this meeting shall be done via Zoom online video conferencing. Good evening, everyone. Our first hearing tonight, scheduled for 7:05, and it is 7:05, is a continuance from October and the applicant regarding 11 Gold Street. I think the applicant's representative may be available on Zoom.
You see Courtney, you said?
I just see Courtney, yeah. She's on twice, actually, so here she comes.
I'll probably just wait till let it kind of.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh, there she
Courtney,
is.
Courtney. Yeah.
Sorry about that. It appears only for this meeting is when Zoom likes to update. So then I tried joining on my phone and I couldn't find the meetings on the town's website mobile version.
Oh, welcome.
Well, you're here now.
Yeah. I'm just going to say it right now. I have officially bridged that point of being able to use the online tools. Used to be intuitive, and I'm not even going to say what I was saying. Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry.
So
We have the applicant on Zoom?
the applicant's representative. So
Yes, I'm here. Excuse me, sorry.
Please identify yourself, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yep, my name's Matt with Freedom Forever. I believe we submitted the changes you wanted to see on the plan set, showing the setbacks from the wetlands and the property lines.
Yep.
Well done.
Yeah, I think at the last meeting, we had a different plan, and we were concerned that wasn't the lot lines, it was something else.
Right, yeah, they had the wrong lot lines
Yeah. So now,
designed out on it, so yeah.
so would you like to walk us through your plan?
Sure. As you can see, from the setback, we're about 102 feet from the right corner there. From the left corner, I mean, sorry. We're going to trench about 79 feet approximately from the house to the array in the back of the property. And then it's just going to be one long rectangle, as you can tell, tying into the main panel within the house.
So it's going to be over 100 feet from the wetlands.
Correct. Yep.
Over 200 feet from property lines.
Right. And it's situated behind the home. I think Gold Street's a dead-end street. I think it is.
It is.
It is.
And the conservation agent, Caitlin Nover, did get a chance to look at it as well. And she's comfortable everything is fine in terms of,
Okay.
which just a,
Does anybody on the board have any questions?
I'll just say it provides all the clarification we asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did.
Courtney, did you have any questions? Nothing? Is there anybody on Zoom relative to this plan or this application who would like to be heard?
Any hands?
Are there any hands, Elaine?
Okay.
And there's nobody in the audience? I don't have any questions. I mean, it's well set back. It's well beyond the buffer zone from the wetlands. It doesn't look, it's a nice location in that it won't be seen, it may not be seen at all from the street.
Or a neighbor.
Or a neighbor, good point. They'd really have to go out of their way to even see it. And there's no noise involved, so I have no questions. Is there a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make a motion.
I second that.
I'll make the motion first. Make a motion to close the hearing for Aaron Wend, Freedom Forever for 11 Gold Street.
Is there a second?
Yes, I do. I second that.
Second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 We'll do a roll call with, Courtney, when it comes to the vote, since you're on Zoom.
Okay. Thank you very much, Matthew.
Perfect. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have town planner updates. Maybe you can update from last night's town meeting.
Sure. So the zoning amendment to change the B1 extended into the Federated Church did pass.
Great.
So that's been done. Next step, we'll submit that zoning change to the Attorney General, and Attorney General's office will review it, report back to us. So what I think we talked with Tim earlier before the meeting started, we'll just have the fire station building committee just continue it past further into essentially 2023 till we get to hear back from the Attorney General's office. Then they could withdraw their variance request without prejudice. So,
Yes.
I mean, we don't really anticipate anything,
No?
but just to be safe, so I'll reach out to them and they can, so actually we'll have to meet in December now they mention it, because that was continued to maybe a quick meeting, because there aren't any other
Right.
petitions or anything at the moment, but, so I'll reach out to Kevin Champagne, the
Okay.
chair, to do that, so. But
Very good.
there was really no,
That's great, though.
yeah.
Very good.
And then the other secondary update is the planning board did vote at their last meeting, which was, trying to remember now, I think it was the 1st of November, trying to remember which one. Maybe the 11th. I can't remember now, escapes me what meeting it was, but anyway, they voted to
The 11th was
award
Veterans
the, what's that?
The 11th was Veterans Day, you probably weren't here.
No, but we're, yeah, good point.
Just thought I'd say.
Yeah, point taken.
There you go.
They voted to award the master plan to Metropolitan Area Planning Council. So now we're just in the process of, they submitted their contract, worked through the contract arrangements, and then we'll get started. So stay tuned in terms of, we'll need your participation and everybody else in the community with that process.
Okay.
And the other article, the other zoning article in the C4 district?
That passed as well.
Yep.
It did, yes.
Any other updates, Rich?
Want anything else?
Okay, good. Okay, now on the agenda, we have approved the minutes from October 19th, 2022. Has everyone taken the opportunity to review the minutes?
Yeah, I already kind of blessed them.
Okay, good. Are there any
Another
questions?
beautiful set.
Wonderful.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes for the hearing on October 9th, the ZBA hearing on October 19th, 2022. Need a second?
Is there a second?
I second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Very good. New business, I don't see any correspondence on the agenda. And the only business we have outstanding, I think, is the
This goes to her.
application that we just heard. So if we'd like to deliberate that tonight, we certainly can, and we could vote that tonight. I think you see,
I think we can.
I have, yeah, I don't know if we have any other discussion on this. I think we,
yeah, if you want to run through the criteria,
yes,
the
yes.
refresh will be in the proposed decision.
one second, let me get to that.
Yep.
All right, all right, so we have the finding of facts, of course, all right? All right, so the criteria. That the use is in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the bylaw. The solar system will generate electricity which will reduce the carbon footprint from the home. This is in harmony with the world's intent to reduce greenhouse gases from the use of fossil fuels. 2, the use is in appropriate location and is not detrimental to the neighborhood and does not significantly alter the character of the zoning district. The solar ground-mounted system will be installed facing the south on the north side of the property for best solar access. The movement of reduced greenhouse gases over time will see more ground-mounted we'll see more ground-mounted small cell solar arrays in other parts of the R3 zoning district. 3, adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use. The interconnection of the proposed solar ground-mounted installation will be through the home's electrical system. It will facilitate the homeowner being able to offset the current use of fossil fuels for the production of electricity. 4, that the proposed use would not be detrimental or offensive to the adjoining zoning districts or neighboring properties due to the effects of lighting, odor, noise, sewage, refuse materials, visual, or the nuisance. The solar ground-mounted system generates electricity from the sun. The system doesn't have any moving parts, so it doesn't create noise, light, odor, or smoke. Once the system exceeds its useful life, it will be replaced with a modern system. 5, that the proposed use will not cause undue traffic congestion in the immediate area. The solar ground-mounted system will not create any traffic. 6, that a proper site plan has been filed for application for approval, and that the proper use of copies has been submitted with the application for a special permit. The appropriate and required materials have been filed. And the last one is that the use and/or purpose is consistent with the 2007 master plan as most recently updated, and that is true. Good.
Very good.
Any questions, any discussion?
I mean, I feel we can make a motion.
Certainly, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the special permit for 11 Gold Street for the ground-mounted solar system in the rear of the property.
Is there a second?
I second that.
All right, we have a second. Any discussion on this? Anybody? Roll call vote. Timothy Martin, aye.
Joe Sebastiano, aye.
Josephine Kordahay, aye.
David Axberg, aye.
Courtney Starling, aye.
It's a vote.
That's it.
Thank you.
Well done.
I'd be curious to hear from, we've approved a few of these now, and I assume we'll see more.
Yeah.
Just curious to see what the results are from the homeowners that use these, because we're kind of anticipating that they'll work well and have that economic benefit. It's kind of baked into our decision. But, you know, I just don't know enough about them. But I'm curious if anybody sees this, if they want to share with us what their experience was, I'd be curious.
So probably a good person to check in would be Peter Diamond, who's also the electrical
Right.
inspector.
Right. 'Cause his-
I'll reach out to him. He would be the. 'Cause
I
he's-
had a neighbor who, I don't know if he's not a close neighbor to mine, but he said that he put his field in 2 years ago, and realistically, it's been operating for about a year and a half. And he said during the summer months, his electricity bill had been normally $600 a month because of air conditionings and everything that he runs. This year, it was $300 with a substantial increase in costs to electricity. So he was quite impressed and glad for it, so.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear from Peter.
Yeah, I'll ask Peter if he can.
Yeah.
It will be interesting as other proposals come our way, what the property situation is, line of sights and things
Right.
come our way.
Have we ever thought about putting in a throwaway condition for removal if they decommission it? I haven't given this any thought, but on some stuff, just to make sure that you don't have weird chemicals collecting in the yard, you might put a condition on it that just runs with it, that should it ever, go out of use, that it would be removed by the owners.
That's a good point. We did it on the larger commercial ones. I know we did them there, a decommissioning
Yeah.
restriction or commitment.
I don't generally like conditions that are, that are hard to enforce, because nobody's going to babysit these things. But at the same time, should one ever become problematic, it seems like maybe I don't. But they're so small. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
these
it's
are
worth-
residential homes as
Yeah,
opposed
it's like
to the bigger.
it's such a. I'm just like, I really don't think they should necessarily have to come to us for this to begin with. So like adding more to it doesn't
Right.
really sound attractive. But also, it's kind of like my house in Maine, where I have a joke that when you buy a house in Maine, it comes with a starter pile of junk in the front yard. That it's
And it's
just
always in the front yard, right?
yeah, well, and it's just like, and I'm included in, where it's just like my house started with a sailboat in the front yard, because that's when you've already like reached your peak Mainer. because like you need the sailboat, otherwise you just ain't right. But it does make me think about whether or not there should be, whether or not somebody 50 years down the line will be like, they should have thought about that. I don't know. I think we should keep it easy, but I think 40A wants us to keep it easy too.
Oh, like I said, we have done it on the larger commercial ones, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because they could just walk
But-
away and,
Well, I think number 4 almost answers that. It says that the system doesn't have any moving parts, so it doesn't create noise, light, odor, or smoke. It also doesn't have liquids or anything else in it. So
Unless
in
they
reality,
have storage, the storage batteries might have liquid.
right.
yeah, normally
I'm not concerned about the arrays.
normally
themselves,
the
it's
storage
more-
batteries are in the house, not
what I-
necessarily
A
out
lot
there
of
with the field.
a lot of building commissioners want you to put them outside so that if you have a
Okay.
fire in the battery, you don't torch
All right,
the
I gotcha.
structure too.
That's some good.
And so
Yeah,
I
that
think
would-
of this
Good questions
more
to
as,
ask.
Yeah.
and whether or not they put them underground, because affluent households will put them underground to boot so that it doesn't look ugly.
Right.
I'm just like, you already have the array out there. It is what it is, but.
Yeah, this will be an evolving area for sure.
I think so. I think the more important thing is not necessarily that it's removed, just that like we know where things are. Mostly from the perspective of the fire department.
Well, the special permit makes us know where they are, obviously. right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind
They
of,
were outlined on the
kind of-
plan.
Right.
I think Diamond could help us with some of that too. That might be a good
Yeah.
a
And should
good
there be-
resource.
And should be any more bylaw definitions that kind of set where they can go and how far they can go and as far as,
Well, they just updated state law for a subsection of 3A that limits the authority to unreasonably regulate the alternative energy sources, which is a good thing. I'm A+ to that. But it's kind of like you walk that little line a little bit on unreasonable regulation. And so realistically, I don't think it requires huge amounts of fire separation. But to me, it's kind of like the only real concern. Like if you're next to wetlands, you want to make sure that you don't have fence barriers that prevent wildlife crossings and stuff like that. But like long term, I think the issue is probably just what are we going to do, like the battery stuff.
and at the same time, we don't really see them. I think we have a few that happened where they are either very close to the front of the house.
And
that's not-
Diamonds is probably the closest one I've
Yeah, it's
seen
on the
up
side
the
yard.
road.
Well, I have no objection to people burning down their own
Where is he?
houses either. Like if you want to
He's
burn
right
down
on
your own
Seacon
house, that's
Street
cool.
by-
It's
Somebody on Park
just,
Street
By
has one
Boardman
very
Street.
close to the road.
Yeah, his is too.
Yeah, that one's.
Yeah.
I've seen the one on Park Street. That one's even further away than Diamonds. Diamonds is closer.
All
But
right, well,
Yeah.
again, it depends on what the town,
they stack wood under theirs.
okay, but it depends on what the town wants, obviously. Again,
Yeah, they're
good-
just
it's a
adhering to
good
the
stack of
normal
wood.
setbacks.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that's what I'm thinking. It's dry.
and we can kind of, keep tabs on it, see how it goes along. Definitely the point about the batteries,
yeah,
that.
excellent point
that's
about
a-
batteries,
Yeah, I didn't even think about batteries.
yeah.
Are they,
I thought they just went right into the grid.
I don't know, are they doing batteries in residential?
some of them do and some of them don't. It depends on, I'm just like, it really depends on what people have installed.
plan?
I think Mr. Diamond, he has a pretty cool array, but you kind of, because I remember when he came in, I think his is a little bit different where I would expect him to have more battery storage and feed less into the grid just because it's fancy, but it goes either way. As far as I know, this is not my huge area of expertise, but I do know that there are building commissioners who
Yeah.
prefer the batteries outside.
He'd share that, some thoughts with us.
Yeah, we could ask if you wanted to have them come to the
Yeah.
next meeting.
I think it'd be,
Talk on the topic.
it's going to be a topic that's here for,
Yeah.
for quite a while. And any guidance that he could give us would be helpful on that.
All right. I can ask him.
Another year of high
It won't affect
bills
his.
might cause it. It's already approved.
Yeah, you're right.
No, yeah, no, it's just,
I'm sure a solar provider would be really happy to talk to us about it.
I'd rather hear from somebody in town who's actually done one and get their
Yeah.
thoughts on it.
Electrical.
Yeah, I'm not looking to run an advertisement for them, but, well, that's all that's on the agenda. Our next meeting is scheduled for December 21st.
And we may have to meet, as we know.
Yeah, we may have to meet for that in case that continuance comes in.
It might be a short agenda, we don't know yet.
Might not be available, but Brett Eldridge, Boston concert might be there.
Wow, wow.
It's a Christmas
just saying.
show. Just saying.
Elaine, before we break, is there anybody on Zoom that,
No,
Yeah, I see, it looks like disconnects, I don't see
No.
anything.
Okay.
just Andrew.
No one here but us chickens. Do you need me to come in and sign anything? I'm not on top of life right now. New dog, only doing like focus is zapped.
I mean, we have 4, but if you wanted to come in and sign it, it would be,
You can sign
be
tonight's
nice.
decision if you'd like.
Yeah.
And we like to
All
see
right.
dogs.
All right, I'll make that happen.
Right.
I'm not far away. I could actually have gotten there tonight in less time it took me to make Zoom Connect on either
Right.
any of my 17 devices. And I was just like, I wish I was not wearing sweatpants. I would just go outside. Sorry, guys. I was sparing you a hardship.
I'm glad you made it. Can you have a motion to close the meeting?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we close the hearing for November 16th, 2022, the ZBA hearing for November 16th, 2022.
Is there a second?
I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Good night. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you. Enjoy the turkey.